Have you ever read a story on Reddit and realized you know the person in real life? What happened? I posted snow conditions on popular local trail. Someone commented and said that they are there recently and agreed with my description. It was my husband whom I did the hike with. We were telling our dog walker about this crazy story from Reddit of a guy who was in the big Boston blizzard that had just happened and ran out of this rare drug used to help with organ transplants. And someone on Reddit helped him by giving him some of their same rare organ transplant drug. And he was like, "That was me. Whoa. See mom. Reddit can make me famous." Technically I don't know for sure, but I have a damn good feeling. About a month or so ago a guy posted a thing saying his girlfriend believes she is a cat. He went on to explain their relationship and all her quirks and whatnot. The more I read the more it sounded like this girl I had a really complicated relationship with some years ago. Everything matched, even her age. At one point she said something about wanting to quit her job and live full time as a cat, and I swear to God this girl I knew once said the same thing to me. The girl I knew even used to meow and mew like a cat. I reached out to OP to see if we lived in the same area, to find out if it was in fact her, because if so I was gonna warn him about the fact that she was very emotional, abusive and manipulative, but he never answered. I'm still fairly certain it's her though. I remember this post. I told my boyfriend about it because it was so bizarre. I'm like 95% sure I stumbled across my manager's Reddit account a couple months ago. There were numerous points in a post I read that lined up perfectly with things he had been talking about at work for a couple of weeks beforehand, and the word use and tone matched his speaking pretty perfectly. Not to mention the account name was fitting. It was super weird reading through the post and having this slow realization that it was him. I didn't mention it to him. This kind of knowledge is too powerful. With great power comes great responsibility. Use it wisely. And, for this question, great responsibility. All the managers on Reddit's buttholes just collectively clenched. I told a story of when I broke my ankle skating and one of the other roller derby girls in my team commented. We used to chat through Reddit a bit as I didn't skate anymore, but then last year she died suddenly in her sleep. I still have her messages and I feel weird seeing all the comments and stuff she made knowing she's gone now. Just sad. I still have some chats, from years prior, of my favorite aunt wishing me a happy birthday. It's also weird sad face. My oldest sister. I asked her if she had a username based off of one of her favorite bands. Specify the album her username referenced. She said frick. How did you find me? Her dog was on the front page of or. Never really went through her post history. Sometimes see her commenting on stuff. She gets an automatic upvote. Or, LOL. I came across someone I knew from high school. We weren't friends or anything, but he was a nice enough guy. Him and his wife had lost something like 100 pounds. Combined. I was happy for him. My wife and I lost 100 pounds combined too. She lost 120 pounds. That's a good one. He's always adding to the relationship. I enjoy the stories of people bettering themselves. That would be cool to randomly see one from someone I know. Thanks. The reverse happened to me. About 2 years ago I was diagnosed with pre-cancerous cells in my cervix, which simply put translates to I didn't have cancer yet, but was going to if it wasn't handled. Thank God I found it early. I posted on Reddit for a while during the whole ordeal, because I wanted to reach out to others who had gone through the same thing and learn more about the procedures, etc. Anyway, one day a friend came over and randomly asked me about it. Immediately I was confused, because I hadn't told anyone about it other than my mum, and so he kind of laughed, kind of apologized, and said he had found my Reddit and read my posts about the whole thing. Like, even my replies to comments and stuff. Lots of honest and detailed things. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but it was a little awkward at the time. Thank you for sharing from the other perspective. Maybe I should do another AR. In the Houston subreddit someone posted a picture of a belly dancer at a Greek restaurant they went to. I think they were there for their anniversary, and they really enjoyed the restaurant food and entertainment. I looked closely at the picture. Turned out I knew the dancer. We had taught at the same charter school about 3 years before. One of her first graders had been allowed by her mother to get ice cream every day before school at 7 AM. Every day she crossed a major thoroughfare in rush hour traffic with her older brother. One day she ran ahead and was hit by a school bus that couldn't stop in time and was killed instantly. My friend was devastated beyond belief and ended up leaving education. This started out so light-hearted and fun. Then it got incredibly and unexpectedly dark and tragic. What a heartbreaking event. Thanks for sharing. It's real life mixed in with the fantasy of Reddit. This poor girl had to explain to all the other first graders that this little girl was not coming back. Flowers were placed on her desk to remember. But it's the inner city. Sadly, kids are familiar with death. I was browsing the sub for my city and saw an interesting post. I looked at the username and recognized it as an ex-co-worker, because the username is the same one they use on Instagram. Out of curiosity, I looked to see what else they have posted and found out that they are really into taking shrooms. Never would have guessed it. This person was so straight-laced and by the book when we worked together. I was really surprised. Shrooms will sometimes do that. It's kind of a if something is worth doing at all, put your whole heart into it, otherwise give it up thing. They are widely regarded as effective against depression and anxiety, and that effect is one reason why. I have never taken shrooms, but that sounds interesting. And do you eat them? Are they dry? Do they taste good? Yes, hell no. Saw a screenshot of this tweet and in the photo was this guy I recognized as a customer from the arcade I used to work at. He has no arms. This is relevant. And was decked out in Sonic clothes. I think his t-shirt said something like Sonic for women's rights maybe? Everyone I worked with knew him. He was really nice and amazing at playing Guitar Hero with his feet. All the comments were saying where's his arms and making fun of the Sonic outfit. Made me sad cause he's so nice. All the comments were saying where's his arms and making fun of the Sonic outfit. Made me sad cause he's so nice. The world is filled with literally just the atheist freaking people. In my town, a toddler escaped from his daycare and was wandering down the middle of a busy road. He was found by a local worker after hearing multiple people honking as they drove around the kid. I posted to my town subreddit asking what the frick was wrong with our town that no one stopped. I got a beer with another dad and he brought up the story he read in Reddit, which I had posted. I said hey, that was me, but the conversation just kept going. I don't think he heard. He probably thought, stupid, the toddler has to be at least 10 years younger than you. I once found a boy, around 4 years old, on the side of the highway in my town. I picked him up and took him to the nearest gas station. I let him go to the cooler and pick a drink while I asked the folks there who he belonged to. They knew exactly who he was and I was able to take him straight home. His pool mother was frantic looking for him when I showed up. She had twin newborns and was exhausted and fell asleep before she locked the front door. That pool woman. My sister has a 4-year-old and twin 2-year-olds now, and the twins made it out to the street once too. One of the twins is extremely precocious with all things mechanical, and my sister has now had to install 3 forms of childproofing on all doors and drawers, because that twin keeps figuring out how to open everything despite the childproofing. Visiting adults can never figure out how to open anything in that house. Seriously, it's like an escape room at this point. But that kid can do it quickly enough to get himself and his brother out and all the way to the street before being apprehended. I'm frankly astonished children ever survived to adulthood, given how utterly exhausting and suicidal they are. Yes, some idiot that I was seeing briefly years ago kept mentioning Reddit and certain subs, so I started browsing. Because it sounded interesting. Came across a post that was undoubtedly him, had his car in it and wording only he'd use. I was just about to text him found your Reddit profile, when I clicked on his username just to find a post complaining about my leg hair and saying that I don't shut up quickly enough when he interrupts me. I shut up real quick when he never heard from me again. Did you date Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé? I recently discovered an ex's Reddit we dated in 2004, and it was interesting to see his comments and posts, but eventually they just stopped. Then a few months later I learned he had died. Life is short. Big gay music. That username puts a smile on my face. Soon after a wedding where I was in the wedding party and knew the wife way better than I knew the husband, I found the husband on Reddit. He was so wholesome. I knew I liked him and that they were a good match, but that was just an extra layer of being happy for the wife for finding someone like that to be in her life. Nice to see this did not go the way I was expecting. That first paragraph, so ominous, right? I was like, oh god, what did he put in his butt? The internet has ruined us.